April 24th, 2025, Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Under the bright lights of the NFL draft stage, a moment years in the making unfolds. The Tennessee Titans are on the clock. Fans hold their breath. Analysts run through their final predictions. The pick is in. Commissioner Roger Goodell steps to the mic and delivers the future. With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cam Ward, quarterback, Washington State. In that moment, a franchise searching for direction found its new leader, and a kid from San Antonio, Texas, who once had just one offer coming out of high school, became the most important player in the Titans' rebuild. Cam Ward didn't take the traditional path to the NFL. He wasn't a five-star recruit. He didn't play for a powerhouse program. He didn't have a Netflix docuseries following his senior year. In fact, for most of his football life, Cam Ward's name wasn't even in the conversation. But that's never stopped him. Ward was born and raised in San Antonio, and though he played in a football-rich state, he didn't get the recognition most quarterbacks dream of. Despite throwing for nearly 4,000 yards his senior year of high school, he received just one Division I offer from Incarnate Word, a small FCS program that rarely draws national headlines. Most prospects in his situation either change positions or fade out of the spotlight completely. Cam did neither. He locked in and got to work. In the spring of 2021, during the shortened COVID season, Ward made his debut, and it was loud. In just 6 games, he threw for over 2,000 yards and 24 touchdowns. He wasn't just playing well for an FCS quarterback, he was dominating. He showed poise, creativity, and most importantly, a complete fearlessness in the pocket. That spring was the start of something bigger. By the end of his sophomore season, Ward had rewritten records and opened eyes. Scouts across the country were asking the same question. Who is this kid at Incarnate Word, and how is he doing this? Ward decided to take the next step. He entered the transfer portal, looking for a bigger challenge. The move was risky. He was leaving a place where he was a star to go to prove himself all over again. But that's exactly what Cam Ward thrives on, proving himself. Washington State gave him a shot, and in Pullman, Ward found his next proving ground. In 2022, he stepped onto the field as the Cougars' new QB1. He threw for over 3,200 yards and 23 touchdowns. It wasn't always clean. There were growing pains. He had to adjust to Power 5 defenses, tighter windows, faster edge rushers. But through it all, the flashes were undeniable. Off-platform throws, escapes from pressure, deep shots on the run. Cam Ward was starting to look like something special. Still, the NFL wasn't fully sold yet. Scouts wanted to see more consistency, more polish, and in 2024, Ward delivered. In his senior season, Cam took the leap. He finished among the Pac-12's top passers in every major category. His completion percentage jumped. His pocket presence matured. He became more patient, more calculated, without losing his improvisational magic. What separated him from other quarterbacks wasn't just the arm talent, though he had plenty of that. It was the way he handled pressure. Defensive linemen breathing down his neck. 3rd and 12 with the game on the line, Cam never flinched. He didn't just play quarterback. He managed the game, elevated his teammates, and gave Washington State a shot in every single matchup. By the end of the season, draft experts moved him up their boards. Quietly at first, then loudly. And then came the NFL Combine, the final test before the pros. Cam Ward walked into Indianapolis with expectations. He left as the consensus top quarterback in the class. Measuring in at 6 feet 2 inches and 215 pounds, he looked like a pro from the start. He ran a smooth 4.63 in the 40, showed effortless throwing mechanics and drills, and delivered ball after ball with touch velocity and command. Scouts were impressed by the physical tools, sure, but what made teams lean in was his presence. Behind the scenes, in interviews with GMs and head coaches, Cam stood out. He was calm, thoughtful, prepared. He broke down coverages on the whiteboard, discussed reads in detail, and made it clear. He wasn't just here to play, he was here to lead, and the Tennessee Titans were listening. The Titans had been stuck in quarterback limbo. The Ryan Tannehill era had run its course. The Malik Willis experiment didn't pan out. Will Levis showed flashes, but the front office wanted more. They wanted certainty, they wanted a star, and Cam Ward was the answer. When the Titans secured the #1 overall pick, many assumed they'd trade down or take the safe route. But the more they watched Ward, the film, the growth, the interviews, the more convinced they became. He was raw at times, yes, but his ceiling was higher than anyone else's in the class. So they didn't overthink it. They made the pick. Now, Cam Ward arrives in Nashville as the centerpiece of a full-scale rebuild. New head coach, new offensive coordinator, a young, developing offensive line, playmakers still emerging. He won't walk into a perfect situation, but he'll walk into one built for growth and built around him. The expectations will be heavy. The spotlight will be constant. But if there's one thing we've learned about Cam Ward, it's this. He plays his best when he's got something to prove. He's been doubted at every level, overlooked in high school, underestimated in the transfer portal, questioned by scouts, and now he's the first overall pick in the NFL draft. This is what makes Cam Ward different. He doesn't run from pressure. He thrives in it. He's not a quarterback who needs everything perfect around him. He's the one who makes the chaos manageable, the one who turns broken plays into highlights. Of course, the rookie season won't be smooth. It never is. But that's the beauty of it. Cam Ward doesn't need a fairy tale start. He just needs the ball in his hands and a chance to lead. From Incarnate Word to Washington State to the #1 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Cam Ward's story is a reminder that greatness doesn't follow a formula. It doesn't need stars next to your name. It just needs a little belief, a whole lot of work, and the courage to bet on yourself when no one else will. This is the Rookie Tapes, and Cam Ward is just getting started. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more in-depth breakdowns of the NFL's next generation of stars. And don't forget to turn on notifications because the rookies are coming for the league.